Muspa'u Yasar. And greetings to our YouTube family out there. For those who do not know me, my name is Peti Sina Tetu Re'e, and I've been over a 30-year student teacher of the profound doctrine of the master teacher, known to us as Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, also known as Panabab Yananin, who has been teaching us our ancient culture of Wu Sabat, which stands for, or Wu Sabat, also known as Wu Nawab, which stands for those who make decisions based on sound, right, reasonability. This is the ancient culture of our ancestors who always made decisions based on sound, right, reasonability, based on the principles of Ma'at. And the principles of Ma'at stands for righteousness, justice, balance, and order, because our whole goal in society at that time was to have a society based on order. And you can't have order without balance. And you can't have balance without justice. And you can't have justice without righteousness. And we did a whole lecture on that. And I highly recommend for those who have not watched that lecture, or if you watched it a while ago, or if you only watched it once, I always recommend watching our lectures more than once. It's our lecture on Ma'at, the African system of justice, I believe we called it. But again, this is what our culture, Wu Sabat, is all about. This is what the master teacher has dedicated his life to teaching us. And us as students have dedicated our lives to spreading this information, because we're arguing that the problems that Black people are dealing with around the globe is due to their decisions, sound, right, reasonability, meaning that our decisions aren't sound, they're not right, and they're not reasonable or rational. And until we get back to making decisions based on sound, right, reasonability, the problems will continue to exist. And as everyone knows, Black people have tremendous problems all over the globe. And those problems will not change until we address the issues. And so this is what we as students are dedicated to. We're dedicated to solving those problems. We're dedicated to teaching our people our ancient culture of Wu Sabat, which is also identified as we being children of the sun. Everyone knew that, or knows that, African people in origins are children of the sun, and our culture exemplified that. And this is what we're dedicated to teaching. Now, while it's been some time, right, that we've been on the air, that we posted a video, as for those who know, we had some challenges last year. We had an extreme tragedy last year. And 2020 was a year of tragedy for so many people around the globe. And unfortunately, us here at NoopooH.org, NoopooCC.com, we were not exempt from that. And so there's a lot of things we had to adjust. But we are adjusted, and we have so much that we have to get out there to the general public, and we're dedicated to continue on our mission to educate our people and assisting our people in their decision-making abilities. We're dedicated to building coalitions, to find those who are willing and able to work with us to achieve the goals that we have set forth. So we're now going to be doing our NoopooH Live question and answer classes, and those classes are going to be held every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we're going to do NoopooH Live question and answer classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So for those, if you look at our site, you'll see on NoopooH.org, our YouTube channel, that we already have our live chat scheduled. For those of you guys who are available and able to show up, by all means, definitely show up. You get to interact with us, to ask us questions pertaining to all of the things that we have been teaching, and hopes that we can begin to, again, assist people in making things a lot more clear as to what our doctrine is all about and how it's going to transform your life in the positive, because that is the only benefit, or the only objective here, is to be able to transform your life in the positive. That's the goal. And so we at NoopooCC.com/Noopoo.org are dedicated to this, because our doctrine is dedicated to that. Our doctrine is what we identify as liberation information. Black people right now, we're not liberated. We are under attack by way of adverse forces. And the only way to get rid of those adverse forces, we teach, is by having the right knowledge, being able to make the right decisions. And you can only get that right, be able to make the right decisions when you have the correct knowledge. And unfortunately, Black people around the globe are very educated. It's just that they're not educated with the right knowledge, with the correct information for them. We here we're in the States. For those who don't know, I'm in Metro Atlanta, United States, the state of Georgia, and Metro Atlanta. And anyone who knows, who are born and raised in the States, knows that the educational system here is designed to educate Black people how to maintain the Western system that we live in. But the system is not designed to teach us as Africans how to liberate ourselves from the adversities that we deal with in this system. And everyone knows that Black people have been suffering here in the West, and in America in particular, from racism, white supremacy. They kill us at will with impunity. They lock us up at will with impunity. They basically, white men and women control all the levers of government on a local and a federal level. They make all of the laws designed for their benefit to protect their interests, unfortunately, at the disadvantage of us as Black and African people, which is why we have been the victims of the system. And so we're not just the victims of the justice system, but we're victims of their economic system. They control all the money. They print all the money, by the way, and they control the distribution of that money. And obviously, the people who create these concepts are going to, set these systems up to benefit them, and as opposed to benefit us. And yet, Black people have been fighting for equality. We've been in this country for 400 years, almost 500 years, fighting for equality, and it's just not realistic. You can only be equal in a system that you set up. We can create an equal society, meaning an equal nation, our nation. That's how equality would be set up, where we as Black people create a nation for us, by us, that is equal to any of the European nations, or where we can have the ability to surpass. But the fight for equality within a nation ruled by other foreign people is just not realistic. And I think after 400 years of us fighting, protesting, doing all the things we're doing, and we still don't have equality. In fact, the economic divide among Black and white is as great as it ever can and will be, and it's going to continue to be. And these are just statistical facts we put in our lectures. So this is why Wu Sabat is necessary. This is why we're teaching our people must get back to making intelligent decisions. The individuals who oppress you will not teach you what you need to know to liberate yourself. The individuals who oppress you will not teach you what you need to know to liberate yourself. So, with that being said, this is why we dedicated ourselves to re-educating our people worldwide about our ancient culture. If we begin to identify with our ancient culture, this is what we argue what the solution is. So, I repeat, every Tuesday, we're going to do these question and answer classes in hopes to help people find their way where they can be in alignment with us, with what we're doing as far as Wu Sabat, and as far as how we are dedicated to rebuilding our nation as the Sabaean nation of people worldwide. We always taught, the master teacher always taught, there are two problems that Black people worldwide are suffering from, which is one, racial blindness, and two, spiritual ignorance. And this is a disease that we've been suffering from for the last 6,000 years, that we as African people have been racially divided, right? Africans fighting each other, Black people killing each other, warring with each other. There is no way you can deal with your adversary and you are a divided people. There is no way you can deal with your adversary and you are a divided people. Which is why in ancient Kemet, it is always taught that knowledge of self is the solution. But the right knowledge of self is the solution to bridging the gap of that racial divide. The other problem is our spiritual ignorance. When you look in the mirror, you see your physical body, but there's more to you than that physical body. You do have a spirit, you do have a soul, and we became ignorant to the reality of what is a spirit and a soul. And this is an African principle. We as African people always taught spirituality, but we became ignorant to what spirituality actually means and how it refers to ourselves. Unfortunately, because of so many of us have been educated in the West, the Western world do not teach spirituality. And spirituality is the key component towards liberation. Spirituality is a key component towards ruling a nation. The Europeans are controlling people through their spiritual systems, which is their religious systems. But they don't educate people about really what spirituality is. And so that ignorance is to our detriment. That ignorance is to our detriment. And so we're dedicated to solving that problem. This is what our whole focus is about. So again, I repeat, Tuesdays, we are going to go live. We're going to do question and answer classes for those who have any questions about what we teach and how we can help and assist. We always ask people to support what we're doing, to become members of NoopooCC.com. But for those who don't know, we've been having challenges with people logging into NoopooCC.com. So I do want to make that known. It's not to discourage you not to become a member, because we need you guys. We need our own social network. NoopooCC.com is our own social network, so we can get off the platforms of the others, and we create a platform that we can control and we can set up, because Facebook likes to just restrict us. YouTube likes to restrict us. And so we need a platform, NoopooCC.com, that we can own and control. And it's very difficult setting up your own social engine. It's very costly. And this is why we're saying we need you guys' support to become members to help us. So again, you can sign up to become a member. You just cannot log on at this time. But and we've been working on this, constantly. It's just the different text that we've had. It's been a challenge in dealing with different people, but we're very close to solving that problem. So I just wanted to make that known. So I do ask those who are members who can't log on to bear with us. That problem will be fixed. It definitely will be fixed. But again, it's not to discourage people from supporting us, because as people become members, it supports us and allows us to really put our time, energy, and resources into really making our own social engine effective. So we can be having these live chats on our own social engine and not on their systems. That will become a reality with you guys supporting us. So again, look out for us every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will be up here, and we will hopefully address any questions and concerns that you guys may have. And there's so much data and information that we need to get out there to the general public. So until that time, we say bless you and thank you for your support, and we will see you then. Wadu.